Thinking about going to Orlando in 2025? Wondering when the best time to go to Orlando in 2025 is? No worries, we're here to help you. My name is Martin, and I'm going to be talking you through the best and worst times to go to Orlando in 2025. The good news is that Walt Disney World on-site hotels are already available to book, along with the Universal hotels as well. So if you're looking to go to Orlando in 2025, we can already book villas, we can already book Walt Disney World hotels, we can book on-site at Universal, and we can book majority of the off-site hotels as well. Plus, we also have an allocation of flights departing from Edinburgh, Manchester, and London as well, which are available up until the end of 2025. Now, one thing that is going to skew the attendance in Walt Disney World and Universal is going to be Universal's brand new theme park, Epic Universe, which I am super excited about. We don't have a definitive opening date yet, but Universal have recently removed the word summer from all the publicity, which means that it could be opening, of course, in summer 2025, or it could be opening a bit earlier as well. Word on the street is it could be opening spring or very, very early summer 2025. And it's going to be absolutely amazing park. Check out our other podcasts that we did all about Epic Universe, and you can hear all about it. We don't really have any details at the moment about the ticketing or anything like that, but we do know that it is going to make Orlando a really busy place when it does open in 2025. So when is the best time to go to Orlando in 2025? We're going to work things through in date order, starting off on the 1st of January. So as you can imagine, the 1st of January to around the 4th of January is extremely busy. People have been going to Walt Disney World for New Year's Eve, and that is an extremely busy time of the year to go there. So if you don't like crowds, do not go around this sort of time. The parks are going to be really, really busy. The great news is from about the 5th of January onwards, the attendance levels really do take a dive, meaning that the parks empty out. And this is mainly because obviously people go back to work, and also because compared to other times of the year, it's not as warm in Orlando. Now, that is not to mean that it is cold. You might need a jumper in the afternoon or in the evening, but it is not cold. Especially compared to the UK, it is going to be a lot better weather than it is going to be anywhere in the UK. So, as I said, from about the 5th of January to around the 13th of February, this is when the crowds are going to be not around. Now, there is one weekend kind of you need to look at, which is going to be the Run Disney weekend. This year, it was around the 18th of January, so it does mean that the parks at Disney do get busier. But if you're doing a twin centre, which we always recommend doing a twin centre, or staying in a villa if you're going to go and visit lots of other places, that's the weekend to go to Universal, because Disney is pretty busy over that weekend. Once we get to around the 14th of February to about the 24th of February, this is when the attendance jumps back up again. So you're going to be sort of seeing crowds not quite as busy as Christmas, but it's still going to be quite busy. Now, this is a number of things. It's the UK school holidays. So, for example, it's President's Day in America, so that's why it does spike things around that time of the year. The good news is from about the 24th of February till about the 9th of May, attendance then drops back down again to around the same as it was in January. So if you don't have kids, or you can take the kids out of school, it is a great time of the year to go, because it is really kind of greatly priced. The pricing is fantastic. Plus, also, the price of the flight is great and got nice low crowds as well. Because not only do you want to have low crowds, but if you're thinking about buying Genie Plus, for example, you don't have to buy Genie Plus when the crowds are nice and low. Just a quick tip about Genie Plus. Genie Plus works when the parks are kind of middle busy. So when they're really quiet, it's not really worth getting it, because you can generally get onto the rides really easily. When it's really, really busy, so sort of Christmas kind of time, kind of busy, it's not worth getting it, because you won't get on very much. And because lots of other people are buying it, the availability is really low as well. So the best time to get it is when the parks are kind of 7, 8, 6 out of 10 for the attendance. And don't worry, when you book with us, we send you over a personalized crowd calendar, and that basically tells you the best days to go to in each of the theme parks. So for example, One day it might be much better to go to Magic Kingdom than it is to go to Animal Kingdom, and then the next day it might be switch it over. And we've tested this. I used it myself on my last couple of trips over to Orlando, and the amount of time that I saved is absolutely insane. I was saving up to 4 hours each day compared to by literally just swapping which park to go to. So that's again something you only get when you book with us. From around the 10th of March until around the 10th of April, this is when it's going to getting really busy again. It is spring break in the US. And what we've got to remember is that around 80% of guests that visit Walt Disney World are from the US. So they're going to be more strict on going during the school holidays. Remembering that also Americans only get around 2 weeks of vacation time per year. So they really need to kind of match that up with the school times. Spring break is not the same for each place, so it does kind of spread it out for the entire month, and it is a busy time to go to Orlando. Just after that, from around the 8th, 9th of April until around the 25th of May, so you've got quite a nice window in there. Again, this is where attendance drops back down to around sort of 5 out of 10, sort of half capacity. One thing to kind of be thinking about in May is that it can be a little bit rainy or rainier than normal in Orlando. Of course, if you've been to Orlando before, you know that when it rains, it really does rain, but it tends to stop quite quickly. In May, you are going to get great weather, but also be wary that there are going to be times when the rain is going to come down and it's not going to be as quick to finish. That is going to be one of the last times that the park is going to be quiet, because you've got to remember is that UK school holidays and American school holidays are not the same. So from around the 26th of May onwards, that's Memorial Weekend, that kind of sort of time. Plus also the American kids start breaking up from school, and then you've also got things like the 4th of July, those kind of things. So from around the 26th of May to around the 15th of August, this is still going to be, 7, 8 out of 10 capacity in the park. So it is going to be busy when you go at this sort of time. So a lot of people do say, well, we want to go in July when the kids first break up from school, or the kids break up from school a little bit earlier than the other kids. So we want to go then. Your flights might be cheaper, but the parks are going to be packed. So you're going to be saving a little bit of money maybe on your flights, but you're not going to get as much done, which means you need to stay for a bit longer. That's one of my tips as well, is don't look at how many nights you go for, look at how busy it's going to be. Because if you go on a 14-night holiday, but it's in the middle of a really busy time, that's the same as going on a 10-night holiday when it's much quieter. You're going to get exactly the same amount done in fewer nights. So you're going to be saving on those hotel costs. Plus also it's lower season, so the hotels are going to be cheaper anyway, and flights are going to be cheaper. So again, don't think that you have to go for 14 nights like most people kind of do. Be flexible. If you're going in lower sort of times of the year, be flexible and go for a short amount of time. About the 16th of August onwards is brilliant time for UK school holidays. It's probably the best school holiday to go, because from then onwards, the Americans are back at school, which means the parks really, the attendance drops down. Sometimes it can get down to 4 out of 10. But you're kind of averaging sort of like no more than 6, but around sort of 5. So fantastic time to go to Orlando. If you can be flexible when the kids go back to school, there is also a massive difference in the price of flights as well. So for example, if you fly back on or before the 1st of September, it's expensive. You could save an absolute fortune by flying back on the 2nd of September onwards. Again, from about the 19th of August onwards, this is when the flight prices also dramatically drop. So from about the 16th of August to around the 7th of October, this is when it is nice and quiet in the park. Now, one thing you do have to kind of think about is the weather situation around September. September is when you're going to get tropical storms more likely to occur in Orlando. Orlando is in the center, so it doesn't kind of get as bad as it does do on the coast, but it is something to kind of think about. I have been to Orlando twice when there's been sort of tropical storms on. Once they had to close the parks, and the other time it was absolutely fine. Parks are still open. It was just a bit windy whilst you're in there, but we still had an amazing time, because any day at Disney is an amazing day. So from about the 8th of October to about the 22nd of October, this is when it is busy in the parks again as well. Not as busy as other times of the year, but you're looking at sort of 7s out of 10s. So it is going to be busier. So if you can go and you want to go for Halloween, try and go a bit later. So anytime after the 22nd. Because from about the 23rd of October to around the 23rd of November, again, this is when attendance levels drop. Now, a lot of people will do the not so scary Halloween, and they do the Universal Halloween things, but because they start at the end of August, you can actually go over Halloween itself, and it's not particularly too busy. Now, I've been over Halloween itself. We went on Halloween night actually to Universal, and that's pretty scary. I don't like people coming towards me with chainsaws and things like that, so it's not something that I maybe will be looking to do again. Maybe I'll go and do the Mickey's Not So Scary one. Fun with rides, not so great with clown maniacs. Around the 24th of November, this is when the crowds are going to start picking up again for Thanksgiving, so this is a massive holiday in the US. Then you've also got things like Black Friday afterwards, and you've also got the Cyber Monday and that kind of stuff, and it is a amazingly busy time to go to Orlando. Just don't go during that time. The parks are super packed. From around the 2nd of December onwards into about the 19th, again, the attendance is nice and low. Weather-wise, you need to kind of just think a little bit more about what you'll be wearing in the evening. So when I was there last December, the parks were nice. They weren't particularly too busy. And in the evening, probably sort of got a jumper on. Didn't particularly rain that much, though we did have one rainstorm which went on for quite a while. But speaking to the locals and kind of know what we know about Orlando, the weather is usually pretty decent, and it's a great time of the year to go. One, because you're going to have all the Christmas decorations and that kind of stuff, but also it's a great time of the year if people don't like the heat. If you don't like the heat, December, January, February are great times to go to Orlando. And then from about the 20th of December onwards, this is when you're going to get into Christmas season, and it is extremely busy. If you have never been before, do not go. You will absolutely hate it. The analogy that I always give people is that if you turned up and you'd never been to a shop before in your life, and you went to the next sale on Boxing Day, you would never go shopping ever again. It is carnage. This is exactly the same with those other sort of times that I've been telling you about. So sometimes over Easter, and also in June, July, that kind of stuff, and especially over Christmas, it is extremely busy. Unless you have been lots of times before and you really want to be there for Christmas, it is definitely not a time that we recommend. Now, the other thing to think about is that if there is a early booking offer with Disney to stay at one of the Disney hotels, these will exclude certain dates. Now, we don't have the information yet. We're recording this in February 2024. We don't have any information yet about any early booking offer for 2025. But if it's the same as last year, it will exclude around 3 weeks over Easter. It will also exclude about 2 weeks around Halloween sort of time, so the school holidays in October. And it will also exclude any time over Christmas as well. You'd have to kind of check in really early to be able to stay there at Christmas and get the offer, okay? Once we have more information, also we'll send it out through our newsletter, and we do videos about it and podcasts, etc. as well. But just something to think about. Now, you might be thinking, well, I want to get something booked now, and I want to stay on site at Disney. Now, we are one of the only places that will let you book, and then if a new offer comes out, we will change it over. We do not charge any app and things to change over. The only difference might be is if the cost of the room and the package has changed, and it usually does happen that way, is that you book it and then Disney might up the price slightly. So what we'll do is we'll contact you and say, right, this is what you've booked. To switch to this new offer, it might cost you this amount, but you're going to get this in exchange. So you pay a little bit and then you'll be getting dining credit or whatever the offer is going to be. And 9 times out of 10, it is worth changing over. Sometimes it isn't worth changing over. It is actually better to not take an offer. And of course, we'll talk you through that, but we will let you change. A lot of other travel agencies and places won't let you change over to any offers, or if they do, they're going to charge you horrendous admin fees as well. So we're one of the only ones that won't charge an admin fee. So if you are looking to book your Walt Disney World 2025 holiday, please get in touch and we will be really happy to help. So the main points to avoid are: do not go over Christmas or New Year. It is extremely, extremely busy. Around the 14th of February until about 24th of February, extremely, extremely busy. Around the 10th of March to around the 7th of April, extremely, extremely busy. From around the 26th of May until about the 15th of August, busy, busy, busy. 8th of October to around the 22nd of October, busy but don't change your plans kind of busy, it's just busier. And then Thanksgiving for about the 24th of November into around the 1st of December, it is going to be extremely busy as well. So if you can avoid any of those times, it is going to save you so much time in the park. And don't forget, when you book with us, you're going to get that crowd calendar as well to know exactly which park to go into each day. So hopefully you found this nice and useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up if you're watching it on YouTube, or give us a like or anything like that. If you can leave us a review or a comment below, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And if you want us to help plan your trip to Orlando, please get in touch using the links in the show notes, or visit orlandoinsider.co.uk. That's orlandoinsider, all one word, .co.uk. My name's Martin, and we'll be really happy to help you book your trip to Orlando in 2025. For now, have a magical day.